Thank you, good evening and welcome to this Cabinet meeting on the 18th of September 2025. Do we have any apologies for absence? Councillor Nova Arkney? I think that's the only one, thank you. So welcome everyone, and a reminder to members that the meeting is being recorded and will be uploaded to YouTube. Minutes of the previous meeting, which was held on the 21st of August 2025, are here for approval. Can I request a mover, Ben Clark, and a seconder, Lewis Smith? All those in favour? Thank you. On to declarations of interest. Has any committee member got any interest to be declared? That's a no. Thank you. Item 4 is question time, and we haven't received any questions. Item 5 is matters referred to the Cabinet in accordance with the overview and scrutiny procedure rules, and there are none of those. That brings us on to item 6, which is the community governance review options. And the purpose of this report is to outline the options available for conducting a community governance review in Tamworth. And this report presents those options in response to changes in local government, particularly those arising from the local government reorganisation. The Community Governance Review aims to ensure governance structures remain 1, fit for purpose, 2, representative of community identities, and 3, capable of supporting effective service delivery. So we have a cross-party working group, which I chair, and this has been established to oversee the process. This report consists of 4 options: 1, a whole council, town council with wards; 2, a multiple parish councils; 3, neighbourhood area committees; or 4 was an option for no change. And in the papers you will see that each option's been evaluated for costs, benefits, risks and mitigation. So when it comes to a community governance review, we need to go out with a preferred option to the residents. This allows residents to come back to us as part of the consultation to let us know that they agree, don't agree, or feedback on what they feel is required. So the recommendation in the report is a starting point. Doesn't necessarily mean that when the process is completed we will have a parish council in this format. It allows the residents to comment and decide whether that is what they want, and if not, to suggest something else or to say that they don't want it at all. And it will be the information from the consultation that will decide whether we have a parish council, and if we do, what it looks like. Are there any questions on the paper? Sarah?
Thanks, Carol. Not a question, just more a comment, and just wanted to pick up on what you were saying about that second bullet point about community voice and going out into consultation. This report is really detailed about risks and things, and just saying, you know, are we listening to what residents are saying? When we've done recent work, time and time again, people said about that local element. So I just wanted to kind of say I really appreciated the detail in that, with the different options we've got.
Thank you. And I think that while we are very, very keen on going out and asking residents about all sorts of things, this process has to have that in it. So we need to make sure that we're fulfilling those bits a bit, and that we're asking people the right questions as well, because they do have the option to come back and say they don't want anything at all. But it will be interesting to see what people think about this. But we will need to give them a lot of information to be able to make that decision in the first place. So are there any more questions? Comments? Right, so the recommendations before you are: 1, to approve option 1, recommending the whole town council model for the community governance review. And this will form the basis of the terms of reference to be submitted to full council in May 2026 for approval, initiating the formal review process. And 2, endorse the exploration of neighbourhood area committees to complement the whole town council approach, ensuring alignment with current government guidance and local government reorganisation. I'll move that. Can I have a seconder? Councillor Foster. All those in favour? Thank you. So item 7 is the post-implementation review of Marmion House reception services, and I'll hand over to Councillor Lewis Smith.
Thank you. So I'm here presenting the post-implementation review of Marmion House reception service. The purpose of this report presents a post-implementation review of customer service reception at Marmion House and seeks Cabinet approval for recommendations on continuing, improving and developing reception services. Before I say the recommendations, I just want to say a few words about the front desk. So the desk has been open for about 6 or 7 months, and it's seen nearly 5,000 people come through the door, with over 3,000 of those people requiring face-to-face services, with many others using the self-service options. The staff have done a fantastic job serving the residents of Tamworth, and have really done themselves proud with their efforts so far, and I'm sure they will continue to do so. I remember sitting in a scrutiny meeting getting criticised for saying that we estimated 200 people through the door per month, and look at it now, we've had over 700 people through the door per month, and that's consistent. Things aren't slowing down, people are still using this service. The opposition made out that the desk was in use at the assembly rooms was acceptable when it was only receiving 44 visitors per month, and those stats have been proven completely wrong. The opposition criticised us for refurbing the building when it was being decommissioned, but it was their choice to decommission the building in the first place, and it was them who closed the front desk. They also left us with no plans for an alternative, so we took the most sensible, cost-effective option we've provided a vital service for Tamworth. I'd also like to mention and address some misconceptions from other councillors that have been previously spouted on social media. The front desk did not and will not cost us millions of pounds. The refurbishment of the desk was £82,000. And to staff and run the desk, it costs us £56,000 per year, a far cost away from what's been reported. So to finish, this desk has given the residents of Tamworth a chance to voice their concerns and inquiries with a friendly face, and the satisfaction rate proves that the residents of Tamworth are happy with this service. Any questions?
Councillor Foster.
Thank you, Councillor Lewis. That's obviously a great piece of work. I'd just like to ask you a very quick question, actually. I mean, this is a massive success story. Are we actually putting a load of comms out on this? Because obviously, I think we should, because it is such a success.
There we go. We have previously, but moving forward, I feel like there's a lot of work which we need to do to sort of put it out there a little bit more. So yeah, definitely something we should look to do.
Thank you. Those numbers are actually in my piece in the Herald today about how many people have come through the door, because it's about some good news story to try and counteract all the horrible stuff that is on social media. Just an absolutely fabulous thing, isn't it, that we've been able to do. So proud that we stuck to our guns and didn't listen to the dissenters who told us that it wasn't needed. Because for those people who've come through the door, it obviously was, and it will have made such a difference to them. Sarah, did you want to?
Dean, one thing, again, like in all our reports, the detail that's gone into it's kind of talk about what the cost is, the breakdown of it, environmental elements to it as well, because I know there were some people who've said, well, with working from home, obviously people are not making those journeys, we haven't got that kind of environmental impact, but you and I, as our day jobs, we work in the public sector, and we know that sometimes, no matter what, yes, you could do it on Teams or a call, but people need that face-to-face. They need that bit of paper in front of them to go through things, and that's what we provide through the front desk, that face-to-face interaction, something concrete and physical, and it's giving people a really good opportunity to have their questions answered. You know, we're saying we listen, we want to help, and I think this has done that. So thank you very much.
Yeah, just to add to that, so we're also looking at what we can do with the back end of Marmion House and the front desk, about using it to provide a space for voluntary services to come in and use the service even more. So we're making it even bigger and better than it ever was. So there's more for that. There's more to come. I'll say the recommendations then. So number 1, the continued operation of face-to-face customer service offer at Marmion House in line with the current operating hours. Number 2, maintain the existing operational model which promotes increased utilisation of self-service options. Number 3, the withdrawal of a generic customer service access point from the assembly rooms to align with operational changes at the Tamworth assembly rooms. Number 4, to co-locate Tamworth Information Centre alongside the customer service offer at Marmion House for greater efficiency. Number 5, to monitor service usage and customer service and conduct a further review of opening hours after a full 12 months of operation. Number 6, explore further service enhancement opportunities for face-to-face provision where demand necessitates. Number 7, facilitate ongoing promotion of sustainability initiatives. Thank you.
So, Councillor Smith has moved that. I'm happy to second. All those in favour? Thank you very much. Right. So we're on to item 8, which is the communications strategy. This is something I've now taken off of Councillor Smith's hands, so I'll present this report. So we're being asked to decide, or we're being asked to approve our new communication strategy for 2025 to 2030. This follows the recommendation from our corporate peer challenge review. And just a few points about this strategy. Why do we need this? We need it because the corporate peer challenge told us to improve how we communicate and engage with residents, and also because we need a coordinated approach across the whole council. And I think this is something that we've recognised from day one, that we want to see some work that helps our communications team and make sure that they're embedded within the whole council structure. The strategy will set out how we'll support the corporate plan through better communications, and it will focus on building a better Tamworth, which is our council vision. It has 4 main priorities. Number 1 is to tell our story better, so to show our residents what we're achieving for them. Number 2, to get staff involved, help our staff to become ambassadors for the council, because our statistics show that over 60% of staff actually live in Tamworth, so they're not only our staff, they're our residents. Number 3, listen and respond, actively engage with communities so that we don't just talk at them, which is something that is very close to my heart. And number 4, use the right channels. And once again, something that we've talked a lot about, digital first, but not digital only, which the previous item shows is something that we really have to keep in mind to, that sometimes you actually need to speak to people. So the bottom line for residents is this isn't just about better marketing, it's about genuine democracy, and we want to be known as a council that listens, responds and delivers. So has anybody got any question on the comms strategy? No? Right. There will be some more to come because we have just gone through that corporate peer challenge on the comms piece of work, so there will be extra stuff coming out, and this is part of that that review. So the recommendations are: 1, that Cabinet approves the communication strategy 2025 to 2030 with implementation from October 25. And number 2, that portfolio holders champion a whole council approach to communications where success is everyone's responsibility. And I would just add there, that's also something that we keep saying about, it is up to every councillor to be a champion for this council. And yeah, I'll leave it there because sore point. So I will move that. Can I have a seconder, please? Sarah. And all those in favour? Thank you for that. We go on to item 9, which is the Museum Estate and Development Fund. And this is the MEND update, and this is Councillor Lewis Smith.
So I'm here to present the Museum Estate and Development Fund update. So the purpose of this is to approve the procurement process and to seek delegated authority for the appointment of contractors, which exceeds the threshold of £100,000 in the Borough Council's financial guidelines. So a little bit of information on it then for the public that are listening back at home. In March 2025, Tamworth Castle Museum was awarded £1,716,238 by the Arts Council England, grant funding to deliver a capital repair programme via the Museum Estate and Development Fund. The grant programme will enable a proposed repair project to address complex structural issues at the scheduled monument site and thereby improve display storage and engagement conditions for the museum's collections. On the 17th of April 2025, we, the Cabinet, formally accepted the offer under the terms stated by the Arts Council England, and all activity and expenditure must be completed by March 2028. The project timeline or timetable outlines a construction tender phase beginning in September 2025, with the work starting on site in late spring 2026. The value of these works will exceed £100,000. The executive cost summary prepared for the grant application by Pulse Consult in August 2024 outlines the gross construction costs over all phases of work to be £1,245,530, and we expect this to be delivered by a single main contractor and subcontractors. The allowance for professional fees on the project is 10%, i.e. £124,553 across the three main suppliers, architects, structural engineer and quantity surveyors, and it is therefore unlikely that these costs will exceed £100,000 for any individual contractor. The remaining project costs are contingency, so £353,000, and inflation, £138,000, to progress the tender phase in accordance with the terms of the grant agreement, and the project timeline approval is sought to exceed the procurement threshold of £100,000. Basically, these are for works that are going to take place on the castle. It's vital works. The cost, the money which we've stated there covers about 70% of the crucial fixes which need to happen to the castle to make sure it stays in a fit state for us to visit, for people to enjoy, for kids to learn, people to learn about our heritage. So I really recommend that we'll read the recommendations out for you, Carol, so rather than making you do that again. But before I do that, it's a key piece of work which we really need to do. We obviously really need to approve this so we can get moving forward. And yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, can I just say thank you to the officers who did the work that meant that we got this money in the first place. We know that the castle is something that needs money all the time, and the fact that we can now do this vital piece of work to keep it safe, because that's what it's about. It's about making sure that we can keep it safe and keep it open so that everyone can visit it. So brilliant. Yeah, we'll hear the recommendations then if nobody's got any other questions.
No, apparently not. Right, it's recommended that, number one, the committee approve the expenditure of £1.9 million, comprising of £1.7 million from the Arts Council England and grant funding, and £190,000 from Tamworth Borough Council match funding. And number two, the committee approves that the appointment of contractors following the procurement is delegated to the Interim Executive Director of Communities and a Section 151 officer in conjunction with the Castle Museum and Archive Manager.
Item 10 is the internal audit delivery options, and this is the report of our Executive Director Finance, Joe Goodfellow. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. So this report is for Cabinet to approve the recommendation of the Audit and Governance Committee for the future service delivery of internal audit. Tamworth Borough Council and Lichfield District Council have operated a shared service for internal audit since 2014. Under the shared agreement, the audit manager is directly employed by Tamworth, but their costs and time are shared equally between the two councils. A principal auditor employed at Lichfield works across both councils also, and additional audit days and specialist IT audit are brought in from the private sector. As you will be aware, the permanent audit manager retired at the end of December 2024. A recruitment exercise was undertaken, but unfortunately a suitable applicant was not identified. An interim audit manager has been engaged to cover the post in the meantime and to determine and implement the preferred option for future service delivery of internal audit. The potential options for internal audit service delivery are as follows. Co-source or retain the current model. This option would include attempting again to recruit to the audit manager post. To deliver it fully in-house, attempt to recruit to all vacancies and directly employ an audit team. However, this was not thought workable because audits, the staff have depleted in recent years and previous attempts to recruit have not been successful. Outsource, so to extend the existing co-sourcing arrangements to include management and other governance functions, or look at a new partnership with other local authorities. We've jointly approached other councils within Staffordshire to see if there's any willingness to do some partnership or more joint working, but unfortunately we didn't get much success. A lot of the other Staffordshire councils already outsource their audit functions. So we undertook that appraisal. There's advantages and disadvantages of each option set out in Appendix 1. But the recommendation is that the future delivery of internal audit should be through an outsource, so an extension of the current co-source arrangement. This was approved by Audit and Governance on the 13th of August 2025 and has also been approved by Lichfield District Council as well. So the proposal is that the shared service will continue, but will extend that contracting out arrangement to include the audit management function as well. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Jo. Just to say that I know the amount of work that's gone into this to try and get us to some option. This would seem to work. There's a lot of work gone into it, and we're in that that joint thing with Lichfield, which makes it feel just a little bit more safer. It's weird, isn't it? It's yeah, safety in numbers. Has anybody got any questions for Jo? No, I know it's already gone through Craig's previous committee, Audit and Governance, so it's been well scrutinised there. So we have this recommendation before us. I'm happy to move it. Do I have a seconder? Oh, Councillor Adams. All those in favour? Thank you, you've got that. Thanks, Jo. So item 11, exclusion of the press and public. This is that members of the press and public be now excluded from the meeting during consideration of the following items on the grounds that the business involves the likely disclosure of exempt information as defined in paragraph 3 of Part 1 of Schedule 12A to the Local Government Act 1972 as amended. Can I have a mover? Councillor Smith, and a seconder, Councillor Clark. All those in favour? Thank you. Thank you to the public who've been watching